make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Hello, and welcome to Let's Sip and Talk with Freema on this Monday. It is great to start the work week out with Adrin 7 on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema. I'm so excited. I've heard so much about him. He's had the pleasure of styling, working with some top-notch celebrities, Patti La Belle, Naomi Campbell, Gabrielle Union. He's been on featured on different shows, the Martha Stewart Show, Good Morning America, all this good stuff. I'm just so excited to dive into his journey, see how he got started, and see what his new ventures are. So without further ado, we're going to learn about Adrin 7. I'm so excited. Wow. It is a pleasure to have you on. I really appreciate you coming on and talking with me today. How are you?
I am very good. It is so good to be on this show with you. I am like enamored to be here because I'm like, I get to interview with someone who, who has been doing this for a while. So I am happy to be here.
I appreciate you. And then also, we're from the same hometown.
Yes, indeed, honey. So that makes me feel even so much better because one of the things I've learned about being from Orangeburg is one of a kind because rarely in this country do you get to be from a place where there are 2 Black colleges in a small town.
Absolutely.
And we get exposed to so much. So when I moved away to the city, I'm like, I never felt like I was from a small town because Orangeburg was big to me. It wasn't Bowman, Fancy, or nothing like that.
Right.
So I felt like, it was always, I always had that tenacity. So I'm so ever grateful for those groups. Trust me, they keep me going. That's what it is.
Absolutely. Yes, so let me ask you, shall I call you 7 or Adrin?
You know what? Everybody calls me 7. That's the name I've kind of made for business. So you know what I mean?
So
they call me 7, but Adrin it is. I'm from Orangeburg. My mother named me Adrin. Adrin is 7 is my business name,
Well,
so
we're talking about business today, 7. So 7 it is. So if you don't mind me asking, okay, after high school, whatever, what made you, or even before that, when did 7 know he wanted to start doing hair? Like, where did this all begin?
Well, I always knew I wanted to do hair since I was 3 because I love coloring girls' hair in the coloring book. So I always kind of had a love for hair, and I did it, in high school. I did hair. I played with dolls, those kind of things that girlish boys go through. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but I didn't want to embarrass nobody or make my family feel some kind of way. So I hid it for a while. You know what I mean? And then once my parents found out I could do hair, they were like, you should make this your job because I was looking for a job. So they allowed me to work in their home while I went to school, all throughout high school and college. I did hair, you know what I mean? But I was taught to go to college because if you want to be somebody you want to go to where you should go to college. So I went to college first, but I did hair all throughout while I was going to OW. And while I was going to Claflin. And so after graduating from Claflin, I moved to Atlanta, worked in advertising for about 2 years and realized I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life because I made my money as a hairdresser. So I'm like, why not just do hairdressing, but do it big? I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to apply corporate strategies and do what I learned at Claflin into hairdressing. And that's really what makes me who I am today. Really, it's the skills, the tools, the things I learned while going to Claflin and OW, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot of people skills and a lot of how to live and all of that. You know, celebrities come and go. The people, I treat them all the same. If they your mama, my aunt, the celebrity, whatever. And I got a lot of that from school. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's it.
So I know you had, like you mentioned, you know, you did the hair on the dolls, but when you actually start doing people hair, how was that for you as far as, because, you know, I guess I never did hair, you know, to your level, of course, you know, friends' hair and stuff, but did you kind of practice on your friends' hair, or, you know, was that like a trial and error? How do you handle, to me, that's the hardest job, Seven, doing somebody else's hair, because it's like, what if they don't like it? So how do
you gotta kind of think about, well, for me, I thought about styles I like first, you know, like what would look good on the person and how could I create the style on that person so that they look good. So that's kind of where I come from. I had some cousins who did hair. They were Darlene and Camille Jameson, and they were singers, and they used to sing in a group. So when I was like 12, 13, we used to practice at the salon, but I would help them clean up. And they would show me how to do hairstyles. They gave me a mannequin. So I got to practice on a mannequin while I was like 13 or 14. Oh, wow. And then when I was like 14, one of my friends in school asked me to do some finger waves on her hair. And when I did the finger waves, her cousin liked it. When her cousin saw it, she was like, well, hey, can you do my hair? I did her cousin's hair. She was like, sure. Then I did her cousin's sister hair. So now I'm like, oh, I done did 2 or 3 people hair. Right. Then my mama come home. She like, well, who did your hair? Yolanda was like, Real. So my mother was like, well, oh, you can give him like $10. So then I started charging people $7. So mind you, when I was 15, honey, by the time I was 16, I was making enough money to pay for anything I wanted on my own. So I was like, oh, this is it, you know, but I thought to go to school first. Yes.
Right. That's amazing. That's good. And it only gets better from there. So now you're in college, you're doing hair, you know, all that good stuff. How did you end up branching out, you know, to a bigger city?
Well, actually what happened was I was applying to go to beauty school. So I'm applying to go to the schools in Atlanta, the schools in Georgia, all over. They wasn't replying to my application. I didn't get no answer back. I even applied to go to Dallas in Charlotte. Still no answer back. So I'm like, okay, cool. One of my aunts passed away September 11th at the Pentagon in DC. And we had to come up for her funeral, which was like October 18th or something like that. When we came up, I saw the Dudley Beauty College on the application. So I said, oh, I can go to Dudley's in DC, stay with one of my family members, and go to school with them, because I was living in Atlanta at the time. So I moved it. I asked one of my aunts, could I stay with her? She said, well, you might as well stay with your cousin, because she could, you know, use the help, this, that, and the third. You know, it would be better. Right. So I moved in with my cousin, which was her daughter, for about a year. And went to beauty school, got my license, started doing hair. And I thought I was going to move back to Atlanta. But I was working at a makeup counter, because I took a class with makeup while I was in beauty school. And while I was taking the class, there was a counter manager who showed me how to do makeup. Long story short, Tyra Banks' mother came to get her makeup done and forgot her powder the next day and brought Tyra back with her. Oh, wow. So she brought her with me. I didn't even know she was Tyra's mama. She was like, Adrin, I want you to meet my daughter. And then I'm like, oh my God, that's Tyra Banks. So I had been reading these books. One of them is up here. It's called Sam Fine Beauty. So I knew Oscar James was Tyra Banks' hairstylist. And Oscar James is from Florence, South Carolina. Okay. So I told Tyra, oh, I love your hairdresser, this, that, and the third, boo, 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 boo. She like, well, you know what? His agent is Kim Barboza. You should go, blah, blah, blah. So I called New York, went to meet Kim Barboza. Now, listen, I had a little trapper keeper pictures. So it was not a pretty sight. I had little pictures I done took with my Polaroid camera, put in a photo album, went to New York with my country dreams. And they was like, baby, this ain't it. But this is what you need to do. And so he told me what to do. And so that's when I started entering hair shows, competitions, doing those type of things, getting in environments where I could kind of like get exposure. And, you know, one of the good things about being from Orangeburg and being able to move to the city is all of the opportunities here were big to me. So I seized them all.
Love it.
Anytime someone gave me an opportunity, hey, I'm taking it, I'm taking it, I'm taking it. And I made it more about the opportunity, and I knew something would come from it in the end. So that is something, and especially being from a place like this, from Orangeburg, because we get so much exposure. Henderson Davis players, theater, actors, you know what I mean? So all of that is in our blood. So when we go, they like, well, how you lead? I'm like, well, girl, this is all I know.
Yeah, you're right. I love it. I love it. So look at me. I'm just nosy. I just love to talk. So now you're in DC. So what are some pointers maybe for some people that may be watching now that, you know, don't know exactly what it is they should do? So like you said, you walked in with your Polaroids and things, but they told you what you should do. So what are some of the pointers you can give that he gave you as far as what things you should do to you know, strive for greatness?
Thank you. That is so good you asked me that question, because I've never been asked that. But to get right down to it, one of the things he told me to do was definitely test with photographers, meaning work for free. Let the photographers get to know you, build relationships, get your work out there, because people need to see your work. And a lot of times, especially as new artists and new people, we're so quick to get the bag, but we got to let people know what we can do. You know what I mean? And so sometimes it's not always about securing the bag, because you could get more exposure. Absolutely. And people see you more, and then you get a bigger bag in the end than to get a cute coin in the beginning. You get what I'm saying? And so that's
definitely resonating with me, Seven. That's definitely resonating with me. Yes.
So, you know, and so in the beginning, you want to test, do stuff, you know what I mean? Get your name out there. And then after a while, everybody's going to start paying you. That stuff definitely happens. So he told me to do that, to get out. And so that's what I did. So I started entering, like I said, hair shows, working with photographers, doing hair magazines, photo shoots, all of those stuff, and just getting out there. And that's what kind of got me out there, but really being in the right environment. Also reading the right books and reading the right stuff. You know, I had to be prepared for when I got the call for Patti La Belle, because I had to be in the right mindset.
Right.
And I had already been reading books like The Secret, The Game of Life, and How to Play It, Who Moved My Cheese. So my personal development and me, even listening to, I would always say, you know, like having quotes come to your phone, or scriptures, or following the right people. You know, you want to have that, being in a positive environment that you create. Because it's not up to no one else to give us a positive environment. We can be in a negative environment and still remain positive, but we cannot be in a positive environment. You know what I'm saying? And turn negative. That's the whole part. So having some of that, because honestly, sometimes being on the road, you know, you go to bed late at night, and you up early in the morning for the flight. So you like boom, 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 and there's stuff going on in the background. People, this ain't working, this, that, and the third, and you still have to show up and operate in the midst. Yes, and show out. Yes, you're right, show out too. But you know what I mean? And so,
So let me ask you, and you don't have to answer this, you know, if you don't want to. In your journey, you know, even before you got the call from Patti La Belle, but in your journey, like you said, you had to, you know, the motivational things coming to your phone. You had to surround yourself with positive people. Read. Did you find yourself, as you're evolving, having to leave people where they're at? You know,
I definitely did. And one of the things I realized is that's part of evolution. You know what I mean? And it's not that you're even leaving them where they're at, but just like when the seasons change, certain things don't come with the new season. And it's not that I'm shining on you or whatever. But one of the things I always realize is surround yourself with those people that's going to take you to the next level. I've always been a teacher's pet. And I don't care what nobody say in life. I hope I can say this, but you're going to have to kiss ass before you kick it. And it ain't always about, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, stroke people egos. Don't make it about, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to, to get what you want, because sometimes it's just about the exchange at the end of the day.
Right.
I don't have to come home with you. You're not the husband that's making me crazy. You're not the person, whatever. We're just going to do this transaction in a good way and make it rain and clear it out. But, but that comes over time. Listening,
and that comes with growth. Yes.
Yes. And making mistakes.
Absolutely.
That's part of it. Accept them. That's one of the things I realized, because you're not going to learn how to leave a person until you practice leaving somebody else. You get what I'm saying? So you're going to practice on them people and, let go and outgrow. And that's part of it. And you may come back. You know what I mean? Love is like a bird. Set it free. If it's yours, it'll come back. If it doesn't, it wasn't meant to be.
Absolutely. That's the way to look at it. That's the way to look at it. So let me ask you, that phone call from Patti La Belle. Now, I know you've met Tyra, her hairstylist. Now, was Patti La Belle the first celebrity that you actually styled, that first big phone call?
It was the very.
So how was that? Where were you? What were you doing? I need all of it.
Okay, cool. Now listen, if you want the story, how many minutes I got? Because I got the story. So let me give you.
I want to know.
Okay, cool. So on just aside. So what happened was Patti La Belle came into town for National Association of Black-owned Broadcasters. And when she came in town, her hairdresser wasn't able to make it for the gig. But he sent me in. His name is Gerald. And he's a great guy, but he sent me in. He styled the wig. He did the wig for her. And he said, Seven, I need you to go do her hair for me because I have clients. I'm not going to be able to go. Okay. So I went to do her wig, just comb it on her. I didn't have to do anything because he'd already prepped it. So pretty much I went as his assistant. You know what I mean? Right. And when I went to do her hair that time, she was like, oh, I can tell by the way you comb, you know how to use it. Like, you know how to do some hair. Right. So there was another time where he wasn't able to make it for Good Morning America. And they were like, Seven, Gerald can't make it. We need you to come now. Now, this is the part about being ready, because I had a passport and she was going to be in Toronto, Montreal, Canada. So they was like, Seven, do you got your passport? And I was like, yes. They was like, we need you to be to the airport at this time of time. I had 6 clients. So I was like, oh my God, I had 6 clients in the chair. I had to ask some friends in the salon that were stylists, was like, hey, can you do her? Can you do her? I split them up. Right. I was like, Patti La Belle just called, asked me, can I come? Wow. Like, I'm sorry, I have to leave, but what do I do? And, I left 6 clients and got on the plane and went to Montreal, Canada. And it was my first tour. And what was so unique about it, that was July 1st of 2005, and she was 61. And if you know numerology, 2005 is the year of 7. 6 plus 1 is 7. And the 1st of July is the 7th month. Wow. So it was like 777. Yes. And I'm 7. Amazing. And that was the day Luther Vandross passed away. So it was all a whole bunch going on that day. Yes.
Wow, that's very interesting. Before we continue, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Excuse me. I know Alex is going to kill me right now because we're over. But hold on, Seven. We're coming right back, you guys.
Hi, I'm Christy Buss. I'm family member of the world champion Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a dancer, choreographer. I traveled around the world and choreographed for daytime television, Days of Our Lives and Passions. I was a Ram cheerleader, a flipper dancer, and now I'm taking that world champion Los Angeles Lakers mentality, and I've created a world champion skincare line called Hedo. And Hedo is driven from the word hedonism, which is self-love, self-pleasure, self-care. And we want you to understand that we want a relationship with your skin, and we want it to be your other significant other, and take Hedo into a new level of how you take care of your skin. So come join me in learning about our amazing brand called Hedo.
Thank you. So we're back. So Seven, now you said, that you got that call. You had to leave 6 clients. You're on tour. So did you actually go on tour with Patti La Belle to do her hair?
It was the beginning of the first set of tours, because she was a busy artist. So there would be tours as well as what we call public appearances. Because when you work with celebrities, especially a recording artist, they're not always touring. So sometimes Martha Stewart may want to see them, or a commercial may want to use them for something. So we go there. And so we're now a contractor with that, let's say, for instance, show or facility or school or whatever the case may be. And so we did a lot of work. The beginning was a tour. So she was on tour. It was 4th of July, like a Liberty tour. So it went from Montreal, Canada to New York, Philadelphia, and a few other cities. So that was the first tour. And then it was a bus tour where we got on bus and went to different, and sleeping on a tour bus. But it's so fun because, I mean, those RVs, I mean, it's almost like you're on a house in a trailer rolling. So it's, you know, it's unique to see that. You know what I mean? So, excuse me. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That's okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Tia.
So did you felt like, okay, now did you feel like, oh my God, my dreams are coming true before you got that phone call, even when you met Tyra Banks, or at that moment, once you filled in, you know, the first time for her, did you feel like, you know what, this is it? I'm going to be 7.
You know what? Honestly, I knew I was going to be 7 before I met her, because what happened, so I remember being in Orangeburg a long time, and there was this place, Rachel's Island, and she used to sell Patti La Belle's makeup. Oh. And it was kind of one of my dreams to always meet Patti La Belle. Like, I would have loved to meet her, you know, just her, Toni Braxton, and Whitney Houston. You know what I mean? Now, I've seen Whitney Houston and have been with Whitney Houston, but I've never, you get what I'm saying, worked with her. But I have been in her presence, so that was cool. But nonetheless, so when I went to Dudley's, I had already knew, like, I'm about to do hair big, because I'm not going to move from Orangeburg and go here and do all this a regular hairdresser. Like, I'm about to do this big. And I knew there were a lot of big people doing hair, and none of them did gray hair. Like, so I was like, all you got to do is just do regular styles. You don't have to do finger waves, waterfall scrunches. Not saying that. That's what I knew. So anyway, long story short, I went and I told myself I'm going to be 7, because 7 was my lucky number. Whitney Houston had 7 doves at her wedding. It took me 7 times to get my driver's license. That's why I don't drive. Yeah, so I don't even drive, honey. But yes, so yeah, it. You
so
know,
you knew it. You knew
and
it.
And then Patti La Belle with the 7s. 7 is my life number. Everything vibrates to 7. So you know, it's definitely been a good thing for me in the beginning. You know, now 7 is bigger than me. Not saying that, but like,
no, I get what you're saying.
You know,
actually, you were big, you know, I'm going to say before you left Orangeburg, because, you know, we discussed a little bit, you know, when I came out of high school, when you came out, and as a young person, you know, back then, you know, your name was out there. You get what I'm saying? So you were already huge. So when Alan, you know, mentioned, I was like, okay, you know, I don't want to say I know you, you know, but I do know him, you know, like. So, yeah, you were already there, you know, so your name was already ringing bells. You were already hot, you know, the hot topic when it came to hair. So, you know, to say you kept it up and still doing great things. So what are you doing now? You know, I know it's still the hair. How do you feel? I just asked you 2 different questions because I was so intrigued, you know, but let me take a step back. How do you feel about the whole trending of, you know, the wigs now? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's something huge. As opposed to how it was before.
You know, I think there are things with hairdressing and beauty that are faddish that come and go. You get what I'm saying? And I think lace wigs, you know, especially lace frontals and all of that, it's 2 things. One is convenient. Right. Because women don't have to do a whole lot and can look good. So they're not doing it to insult themselves or hurt themselves. They're doing it for the convenience. Yeah, that's really what it's about. And the baby hairs is just the contour of the wig, so it don't look like a stocking on the top of the head. Because if you don't put no baby hairs, gonna look like you got on pantyhose. You know, like you got. So you know, so I think, hey, it's a cute fad, but you know, cut and color will always be here. Fads come and go. You know, there are wrong ways to put it on, so you don't want to do that. I always encourage going to somebody who know it or learn it good enough. You know what I mean? But you know, you want to learn what not to do, so you don't have like bad edges and all of that.
Oh my God,
if your edges are broken, I got some oil that can help your edges grow, because I had a lot of clients who just was going through stuff and they was like, this is helping my edges.
Yeah, so we're for ones that, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't wear wigs often. I wear it for convenience. Like, I threw this on, I didn't like it. I got a lot of like, you know, but hey, it was easy for me. But I noticed, like if I do go, you know, travel, have a girls trip, whatever, if I do wear a wig, I notice so quickly that stocking cap either was too tight, and I can just tell that some of my hair may be gone, you know, and it happens so fast. So for people that wear it all the time, I can imagine. So where can they find your oil, you know, for the ones that may need it?
They can find it on our website. So it's sevandco.com. I think my assistant is able to put it in the chat or share with you all where to put it.
I actually see.
Okay, cool. So she's going to put the link in there. Thank you so much, Zen. I cannot do this by myself. It takes a team. And I'm so grateful for Zen and everyone who helps to do this. You know what I mean? That's why I say 7's bigger than me now. Like, it ain't 7 no more. It's helping others and allowing them to live their dreams. You know, that's what I'm like. If I don't fulfill all mine, I might as well create a space for others to fulfill theirs.
And see, and that's amazing, you know, because a lot of, and I'm gonna say us, because we just keep it real on this show, we don't like to share knowledge, give back in certain ways. And I don't mean financially. I mean, just like you were giving us pointers, you know, on what to do if you want to excel in your dreams and stuff. A lot of people don't do that. And like you mentioned, you succeeded in your goals. You know, you've made it, and now you're opening up the window for other people to make it. And a lot of people just don't do that. So kudos to you for even giving other people the opportunity, you know, to even work with you, to even, you know, be a part of the team. So that's amazing in itself.
Thank you. Thank you. And, you know, to piggyback off of that, one of the things I've learned in life, people that don't share or that don't want to share really don't have much to share. Because one of the things I've, like, for instance, when I first wanted to start doing celebrities, and, you know, I had been yearning to do this before I met Tyra Banks.
Right.
And I was asking different, like, makeup artists or people in the area how to come.
Oh, I think okay, there we go. I'm sorry, we froze a little bit.
Yes, frozen.
So you said you
yeah, so what I said, beautiful.
You was asking people in the area?
Yeah, you know, like for help or different little things, what to do. And once I got ahead of them, I realized, oh, they didn't have nothing. Like, I was going after somebody that didn't really have much, and I should have, you know,
the first person ever said that, but it makes so much sense,
you know. And so that's when I started to realize, and all jokes aside, it's not even them, because Kima, what a lot of it is systemic. And one of the things I've learned, you really have to go to the root of people, because some people are born without, like, different things. They may not have family or a supportive family, or, you know, mother and father that love them, or I don't know. Yes, am I on?
Yeah, it's just for some reason it's stalling, but yeah, we still on.
Yes, technology.
That's what I say. We can't get upset about things we have no control.
No, you know what? Technology gives us the ability for you to be in your living room, me to be in my home office, and we can still talk. Thank you, technology.
Exactly.
Anyway, yes. But one of the things I've learned, you know, you got to kind of see where people are coming from, get to know them, get to know the back layers of them, and realize, like, you know what? Because one of the things I realize as a Black person or a person of color, whenever we try to associate all of ourselves as one, we're doing the same thing that the white man wants us to do. We come from different tribes, different cultures, different backgrounds. We came on the same boat, but not from the same part of Africa. So some of us just not going to get along like that. But you know who you F with, you know who your kind, and you figure people out. And those who don't, you just put them aside, because we are the descendants of slaves, and we are still better than what they was yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
you know what I mean? I don't care who you is, where you come from, or whatever. You sure ain't went through what they went through. So thank God for the ancestors. Because I'm like, I'm here now, and that's all that matters. All of that, I can't do nothing about that. I can only do something about it right now today with what I got.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. You said a mouthful, and that's the God honest truth. Because I always question that. Like, people don't want to, share information, like, do they feel, how they always say it's the crab in the barrel mentality, and you scared that somebody's going to, achieve their goals and then leave you down. I mean, it's just, if it's meant for you, it shall be. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But yeah, we got to stop being so, I don't know, ugly towards one another.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Bless them, live and let live.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I just said bless them, live and let live.
Live and let live. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love your spirit. So what do you have in store, like, in the next 5 years? What do you see 7? What do you think you're going to have going on?
Definitely leading an army of others. You know what I mean? Because I realize duplication will take you farther, and leverage. You know what I mean? That's definitely the space I'm in right now. I still do beauty. I definitely see our products being out for others to, grow and learn from them, and helping people, because there comes a point in their life where you can't get but so far and do so much by yourself or for yourself. And if you're not helping for the common good of those, or the people, or the village, or the world, or you know what I mean? It's not going to elevate for so much. And so now I realize, like, this ain't even about me. This is about the people. Like, this is about us, like, helping, being a leader. Like, what I'm going to do, sit right here on the first row, or am I going to move and allow people to get on the stage? And, and so that's the space I'm in right now, is definitely doing that. Of course, having fun, making it rain, clearing out. I wish somebody would try me, but, all just aside. Just having fun.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'm getting me my album fit to come out. Gonna make me an album.
Okay.
Yes, honey, because I love having fun, singing, playing, and doing all of that. And I be freestyling. So I'm like, you know what? If Cardi B can make an album.
Oh, that's gonna be amazing.
Yes. Okay. So I'm looking forward to that. But yes. Excuse me. Thank you. Can you hear me?
That means we're gonna have to have you come back on when that album drops.
Yes. Okay.
I am rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. I thank you for stopping in, because I know you're a very busy person, so it means a lot just to say you took the time out, to come on this little country girl show. I appreciate you so much. And
thank you.
Country it's something I normally ask. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Country is where it's at. The whole world is country, honey. It's only one New York, one Florida, one, but it's a whole bunch of Orangeburgs all over the world.
You're absolutely correct. So one thing, and you kind of answered it earlier, but one thing I ask all my guests when they come on, for the little 7s out there, the kids that want to, aspire to do hair, they're scared, they're nervous, they're scared to approach someone that's already been in the business. They're scared to approach someone like you to say, hey, how do I go out there? How do I do it? What encouraging words would you give them?
I would encourage them to surround themselves with people that are doing it and get in the right environment. Follow the fellow who follows his dream, because he's going to lead you to the right way. We're not doing this by ourselves. This is a world, and you got to follow those people that are doing what you do, so that you can get in the environment and to grow. You'll learn the how-tos and what not to do's and all of that when you get in the arena. But you got to show up to the arena. Show up to the arena. Get around those people that's going where you want to go. That's really it. And then follow the one that you like, and be more like the one that resonate with you.
Love it. And was there anything today that we did not discuss that you want to put out there in the universe?
Thank you for having me. Definitely go get some EverBen Oil so we can reclaim your edges. And, and let's continue to live and let live. Love God, you know what I mean? Make it rain and clear it out, and give the next girl her 15 minutes so you can come back and do it again.
Yes, definitely. I think. Can you hear me? Oh, you can hear me good.
I
Okay,
can
because
hear
we
you.
having a little delay. I appreciate you so much. I
Thank you.
enjoyed this conversation. Again, thank you for coming on. And hey, we must do this again. We
definitely must. And
Well,
you have
thank
been
you,
such.
Adrin.
And listen, you have been such a gracious host. When I tell you, I
Oh,
love
thank
being in your
you.
environment, your space, that green chair, all of that really resonates. And so I am so here for it. Thank you for being and doing what you do, because I feel like, and that's what I love about where we are today. You can be whatever, wherever you are, and whoever you
Absolutely.
are. So thank you so much for allowing me to be in here. And yes, this is great. I am
Thank
so
you.
grateful. Yes, honey.
Yes. She said, sing about edges.
Okay.
I gotta hear this.
Oh, you ain't never heard my song about edges?
No.
Girl, Lord have mercy. There is a storm out on the ocean, and it's moving this way. If your edges ain't anchored in Jesus, they will surely drift away. Yes, honey. If your edges ain't anchored in Jesus, they will drift away. All
They will
right?
drift away. Then they're gonna
Yes,
have to
honey.
contact Seven for some oil.
Yes, and some classes, because you don't have bad hair. You got bad habits. The hair
That's
don't grow
true.
out bad. It's what we do to the hair to make it bad. And we
That's
got to
so
learn
true.
what not to do. That's when you
Absolutely.
can save the integrity of the hair, because hair is both art and science. Artistically, we can style it any way we want. But scientifically, there are rules that we just have to obey so that we don't compromise the integrity of the hair. That's
Love
just,
it.
you
See,
know.
it's nothing like having a stylist that know about hair as well, and not just doing a style. They're telling you, hey, you need to do this and that. I see your hair's damaged. You need to take it. They're schooling you while they're styling it. So yeah, a lot of people need to be more like you, Seven. They need to learn
Well,
about
you
hair.
know what? You know what? God is working on them just like He's working on me and you. And two things I've learned in life: you never insult no one's mother or their tribe. Because certain people, that's just how they do it. They're not there yet. They don't want to mess your hair up. They're just on their way. You get what I'm saying?
They're just not there yet. So then that prompts me to another question, Seven.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
if they're not there yet, look at me. That prompts me to something else. So if they're not there yet, then why? And I guess you probably know where I'm going with this. Why go into that journey on other people's hair if you know that you're not doing what you should be doing at that moment? If that makes sense.
But if you don't know, you don't know.
Can people get sued for that? How does that work?
Well, if they try to, they can, and we have stuff out there for that. There's apps for that too, so I can definitely help them. But not only that, if you don't know, you don't know. There's 4 phases of learning. Either you don't know, you don't know. Either you know, you don't know.
Oh, there we go.
And then there's
your brand answer the question.
Yes. So you know what I mean? So yeah, we could share with them tips and stuff to let them know, because that's really what it's about. And some people are great artists. They're just not, they don't understand the science of it, but they can style it all the way they want. So we just learned you need 2 people. One is good with your hair care, and one is good for your hairdos you like when you want to go somewhere special.
Got you. And like your brand says, Seven also is a coach for beauty industry professionals and aspiring hair designers. And that's why I was getting with that, because we do need people out there that's going to coach our ones that isn't there yet. So y'all make sure y'all reach out. If just be real with yourself. If like, hey, I'm not there yet. I can do hair really good, but I don't know the science behind it. Hey, you have him right here that can help you. Alan said the app with what is that about? What is the app?
You know what? It's to inbox me and I can send you the link and you can check it out, because I can show you better. And I know we're about to hop on.
Okay.
So I can show you. Tell him if he inbox me, I can show it to you. And then that way you can see it. It's 90% show. So I'll show you. It's a 1-minute video. I'll show it. That way you can see it.
Gotcha. Okay, definitely. I'm gonna have to send you a friend request, Seven.
Oh,
I'm on
yes.
Instagram and Facebook.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. I appreciate you so much. I enjoyed this conversation. Again, thank you for staying on as long as you did.
Thank you
with
for
me
having
running
me.
out
Yes.
asking more questions.
Well,
I thank you so much.
We look forward to coming back. We will definitely be back. We'll arrange some things so we can come back, and we definitely hope that we was able to help you do your thing as well. Thank you so much.
Definitely. You answered a lot of my questions. Lamique said you did her hair
Hi,
back in the day.
Hey, Lamique. I remember her. Oh my God. Yes.
Okay. Well, again, thank you so much. And we can't wait to see you back, Seven. Hopefully, I'll be somewhere in a big city one day and we can meet up for lunch or something.
I would love for us to do that, Freema. Thank you so much, and much success on you. And let's sip and talk with Freema. Adios, amigos.
It's only up from here, and you'll continue to strive. You guys, that was a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait till he come back on, dropping 2 albums. It's going to be amazing. And I'm going to be right there, to bring you guys the good information. Guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. And as we always say on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema, peace and love.